Hello, all my Remnant Road Warriors. Today is another Testimony Tuesday. I am so excited to be here with you guys one more week. Every week is a new week, and this is the month of October. And y'all know that I have been boosting up Women's Month. It is October, and Women's Month is the most exciting thing that could ever happen to me. I know some exciting women. God has blessed me to be involved with some exciting women, and you guys can see her. There she is. That is, and for all of y'all that's listening on the radio and that y'all can't see her or see her smiling pretty face and her amazing hairstyle, you will get to hear all about Denise Metzger. She is a dynamic woman, right? She's amazing. And she has so much energy. Y'all know I got a lot of energy. Y'all listen to me every week. But Denise, that one is bubbling over. Me and her had a bubble conversation. Like the very first time we talked, we bubbled all over the phone. And so I wanted to bring her on, and she's going to explain what surprise invite means. And she's going to talk. She got some amazing quotes before we even got on here. But first, y'all know that every day is a new day, and you guys need to be working on that daily bread. You know you need to be working on that daily bread, and you need to be reading that proverb. Do not come back to this station and expect me to read the whole proverb for you, because you know what day of the week it is. You need to be reading your proverb every day. I told y'all it's a calendar. On Saturday and Sunday, you do not get a day off. You need to be reading when you don't hear my voice. And I told y'all I stopped reading it to y'all because y'all are cheating. You need to read it every day. All right, Miss Denise. How are you, darling? It's so excited to have you on here with my Remnant Road Warriors. We get them first thing in the morning. We're from 6 to 8:45 every morning. We get them in the morning. And so we getting them on the way to work so that they don't kill the boss when they get there, because we're trying to keep bosses alive. And so I'm excited to have you on to give some inspiration and to give some empowerment to my audience. How are you, my darling?
It's my favorite thing to do. So I so appreciate the surprise invite to me to come on, be a guest, empower women, celebrate women, share testimony. And I'm super, super grateful.
Well, this is Testimony Tuesday, y'all. See, she knew the assignment. She knew the assignment.
It's terrific, Testimony Tuesday.
What? Oh, you adding T's to my Testimony Tuesday.
Hey,
and
honey.
You had to change the name.
I got it every day of the week. Marvelous Monday, terrific Tuesday, wonderful, wacky Wednesday, thrilling Thursday, fantastic Friday. I'm all about declaring what I'm going to create out of the gift of another day.
That is amazing. Y'all hear that? Y'all got to be ready for Denise, because I wasn't ready the first time I talked to her. So I know y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. Y'all are not ready. All right, Miss Darling, I have some questions for you because I want you to enlighten my audience about who you are and what you do. So just give us that information. Like, who are you? What do you do? How do you make every day terrific?
As someone who buried her oldest daughter at the age of 15, she was 15, I have learned how to celebrate the gift of life, how to proceed to live differently, love differently, die differently, which I call a party hop. Life's a surprise party. If you're hosting a pity party, you're missing out on these gifts that the present may not be beautiful. Certainly it wasn't beautiful through a leukemia diagnosis and letting go of a child. And I have found when I embrace the gift and seek what there is to be grateful for, it's how I can maneuver in celebrating life and finding peace and joy and bliss, and fueling that faith through whatever surprise comes my way. So through podcasts, through writing, through videos, celebrate life. I'm a tribute videographer. I do celebrations of life where I interview friends and family to give me a word and a story of a person that we're celebrating. I do some magical editing, and then they have like their own life documentary. I do that as a celebration of life that can be repurposed later when we're celebrating the gift of that life more than we're mourning the end of it. So I am on a mission to change the conversation, expectation, and experience around death and dying by showing how we celebrate life and the end of it.
I don't even know. Y'all hear that? I don't even know how to come back from that. I have a shameless plug. I'm working on a book called Good Grief. And it's how to grieve well. Mm-hmm. And so I understand and see what I don't talk about on the radio, you guys, is I am a certified Christian counselor. I specialize in grief and grieving. And so Denise and I, again, had a whole bunch to talk about the first time we had a conversation. And her testimony is so strong because I know people that have buried their children. Knock on wood, God forbid, I have not had to watch any of mine take that party hop. All of mine are still in the land of the living. However, knowing how to let them go and let them go with grace and celebrate their going. Mm-hmm. The Bible says we should cry when we're born and celebrate when we die.
Amen.
That's scripture. So what you're doing is not out of the realm of what God would have you to do, because that's what we're supposed to do. People are weeping and crying and boo-hooing when your celebration should be, hey, they going home to be with you. It's better up there than it is down here. So they should be celebrated. And so the very first time I heard you talk about it, it was just amazing to me. The whole concept of a real celebration of life, like really celebrating it and tributing it and making sure that the people can have the memories to go back to later on, and happy, joyous memories. That to me is the most amazing part of any life, is to celebrate, to make sure that they're celebrated and in the right way.
Before it's even a memory. I mean, Janae woke up with leg pain, and by 1 o'clock she was diagnosed with leukemia. I remember sitting out in the hallway of the hospital processing the surprise that had come, and honestly, I may have been leaning towards the fear and overwhelm, and this is when my spiritual journey, the doors blew off, because I heard a voice saying to me, when we're talking about biblical, story, inspiration, I thought this could be like Abraham being asked to sacrifice Isaac. Because, it wasn't lost on me that leukemia could be a terminal, I didn't know. We just found out. And so as these questions and all these thoughts are going through my head, and I hear a voice say, this could be like Abraham being asked to sacrifice Isaac, I thought, I know that story, and we'll pass that test of faith. And right behind it, that same voice asked, what if it's not? And I interpreted that, what if it's not like Abraham getting to keep Isaac? Maybe I don't get to keep her. And somehow I committed to, if that was the test, and I really don't believe we're tested anymore. But back then when I heard, what if I didn't get to keep her? I committed that I would pass that if that was a test of faith also. I would look to moms. What came to me, I don't know if I thought it or if it was given to me as a vision or a perspective to embrace. And what I found peace in, and I thought, I won't be the first mom asked to let go of a child. If that is the outcome, I won't be the first mom asked to let go of a child, and I will look to the mothers who have let go of their children ahead of me to follow the way that I want to live, should that be our experience. And of course, the first person or the first people I think of are Mary and Jesus, and that is what allowed me to not be attached to the outcome, because I'd faced it, whether she lived, whether she died. Whether I got to keep her, whether I didn't, that what I was going to hold steadfast was my faith and trust in a bigger picture, and know that I wasn't the only one. Basically, I wasn't going to host a pity party. I was going to figure out how to celebrate life's surprise party. That being said, when I'm thinking of all my children, she's the weakest. She's not standing up to bullies at school. How's she going to stand up to cancer? That voice also had some direction for me that has been the guiding post of my life since. No matter how much bad there is, the only way she's going to make it is to find one good thing and cling to it, no matter how much bad, one good thing. I had been a perfectionist my entire life. I found a flaw when it was surrounded by a lot of greatness. So if that's the only way she's going to make it, I'm pretty determined to figure out how I'm going to lead in that way. And we got really good in finding the gift in the unattractive present, in the painful present, and learning how to say thank you for it, knowing that it was shaping us, molding us, and bringing us to a place that we wouldn't have been without it.
Girl, you didn't answer. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. So I asked question number 1, y'all. Who are you and what do you do? Okay, just hold on, y'all, now, because Denise said this thing here. Okay, then what's this? Number 2 was, what's one challenge you faced that God turned around? Well, he was talking to her at the hospital when she found out about the baby. And so that's number 2. And number 3, how has faith shaped the way you handle your... Okay, so here we go. How has faith... How has faith shaped the way you handle your business and your daily life? Now, she answered part of that question, but I'm going to ask it just because.
Well, not being attached to outcome. In my business, in my professional, in my personal life, like, do I have goals? Has God given me a vision and many different things? Yes. Do I know how I'm going to get there? Not necessarily. And if I get there or don't, like, I was given that gift on day 1 of her diagnosis to learn the power of not being attached to outcome, to show up every day, to find the good, find one good thing every day, every hour, one good thing, cling to it, give thanks for it. And there have been so many that people think that Janae's diagnosis and her party, I call passing a party hop, that life's a surprise party, death's a party hop. It's party over for the body. It's not party over for the spirit. None of us knows what comes next. So the spirit party hops on to the next venue. And it's a lot easier to celebrate that than party being over for the body. That being said, Janae was my, what I call bachelor's in perseverance and faith and perspective. I had other seasons where I earned my master's, my PhD, and I have my CEUs ongoing, where I learned how to embrace the unattractive, painful present. And it has always been that I go back to finding the good, trusting that I'm being shaped into more, that I'm better now than I was before that gift was given. Because here's the thing too, if I threw a surprise party for you, you don't get to register gifts and you don't get to create the guest list. You don't know what's happening. You show up and surprise. Right. And I've learned that I do live that philosophy. There are people that show in my life that I wouldn't have invited. They're not fun. They're not positive. They're not celebrating the pity party, or they're celebrating the surprise party. They're hosting a pity party. I literally had a surprise party thrown for me after my 5th child, and people showed up I wouldn't have invited. I was given gifts I wouldn't have asked for. It was all about losing weight, oddly enough. I wasn't celebrating the gift of a surprise pregnancy. After baby number 5, this women's group that I was in threw a surprise shower for me to help me lose the weight. And I was so moved by emotion when I opened that door and heard surprise. The people that I wouldn't have invited, I didn't think much about it. I thanked them for showing up to support me. And I shared more time and conversation with the people that I would have invited. I was given a running stroller and running shoes, a Weight Watcher subscription, dumbbells. I knew I was going to use the heck out of the stroller and the running shoes. Wasn't sure about the subscription and the dumbbells, but I was still so grateful for those gifts, whether I would have asked for them or registered them or not. And that carries over into my life. I wouldn't have asked for leukemia. I wouldn't have asked to let go of a child. I wouldn't have asked for a teenage son to be deployed to Afghanistan as a Marine, at 19. I wouldn't have asked for the pain that I watched in one of my children transitioning from female to male. My oldest daughter transitioned from this life to the next. My youngest transitioned from female to male. That was a more painful journey than watching the one courageously die and humanity show up so unconditionally loving for that one and very conditional on how they supported the one trying to figure out to live. Like, I have had season after season, married for 30 years, went through a divorce, drank, drove, caused an injury for someone. My whole life has been about helping people heal and find happiness. And it's one day that I spiraled and I didn't know depression and anxiety until that experience. Probably took me 3 years to get to the place of being grateful and knowing that I'm being used and molded and formed into a better person because of that too. Like, that is where my faith comes in and how I use that across the board, personally and professionally. That's a long answer for question number 3. I don't think I left anything.
No, because baby, your testimony is so powerful. Your testimony is so powerful. And another shameless plug, I have a book that is actually finished called Thankful Authority. And you can't walk in authority that you're not thankful for. So you being thankful for, even if it sucks, you're thankful for whatever it is, you have authority to speak into your day. To say, okay, God, this is the cards that I've been dealt. Okay, what do I do with this? And so you walking in that and just, I start adding up all this, like I'm sitting here mentally going, okay, she said, Okay, she said, okay, and then okay, and then, okay, you lost one and then you lost another one, but then got something back and then well, okay. Like, that's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, I was
And,
rear-ended in
and
June. I was
your
rear-ended in my car in
disposition is
June.
so amazing. Like, it's
Thank you.
amazing that you have the joy that you have considering all that you've been through.
And it also reflects back to me the strength and where it comes from. I heard a quote the other day that I love so much. Like, you hear of the phoenix rising, or rising like a phoenix. And this quote said, "I didn't rise from the ashes. I came through still on fire." And that really resonated with me. And it's minimal compared to all the things that I shared. I was rear-ended in June, and it was a while to get the card, this, that, or the other. And people are like, "Gosh, there's always something going on that's like not the most attractive present for you." And I was like, I know. I asked God if there's gonna be a time where, instead of waves smacking me down and me figuring out how I regulate and tread water, if I get to actually hop on a board and ride that wave all the way to the beach.
But you know what I think, and I'm glad you said that. Because when you said the waves, what I heard was, if you keep your eyes on me, you can walk on the water and you don't need a board.
100%. Well, thank you for that. That's true too. As long as you believe, I do believe in not literally walking on water. Any of those disciples could have walked on water if they believed. It was Peter that did. And as soon as he started doubting, what happened? So we get to choose whether we fuel that faith and whether we declare that we can do anything, that we're more than human. Like, stop. There's a Rumi quote that I love too. We are not a drop in the ocean. We are the ocean in a drop. And when we know that we are an expression of God, and we have been given superhuman, supernatural powers, per se, to create and manifest and co-create and connect and collaborate and heal, then we keep gravitating towards those things, not to the naysaying and the doubt and the fear and the anxiety and the overwhelm. Like, those are the guests you don't want in your party.
Right.
As soon as you recognize they've come in, you can thank them for what they're revealing to you that you still get to work on, or that you can still grow in.
And then they can leave.
Yeah, I'm going to show you to the door, or don't even show them to the door. If you ignore them, they'll leave on their own. Go share time with bliss and joy and peace and love and gratitude, and those guests will stay and the others will lose their steam. Yeah.
I want to circle back to something we were talking about before. Now, you touched on your divorce, but there was a quote that you said, and it resonated. It's still rattling around in my head. It may end up on a t-shirt, and I will credit you and give you 10% of the proceeds when we start selling said t-shirt. But I want you to restate that for my audience, because that was I was like, man, that was deep what you said about your name.
Okay. So I was, like a lot of us, in what we're conditioned to believe as true, or the right way, the Christian way, the loving way. I stayed in I wouldn't even call it a relationship or a partnership, in a marriage. I was trying to save that marriage and family more than I was trying to save my spirit, and eventually left and filed for divorce. And it wasn't something that I thought about before mediation. I really had not thought, do I keep my married name or take my maiden name back? My ex did kind of declare that he wanted his name back, and I was like, our children and I share that name, and it's up to me whether I keep it or whether I don't. And I really did not have any thought that I was going to go back to my maiden name. And yet, when the mediator said, are you taking your maiden name back? Because it's as simple as me writing it down right here. You can do it later. It's, it'll take more time. It'll take, more money, whatever. Absolutely. You don't have to decide right now. And what came to me in a surprise, quick flash of a way was, I liked the sound and I liked how it felt, because my married name was Taylor. I liked how it felt to return to who I was before I was tailored into being someone else. And I did lose my voice and lose my light and lose a lot, and being dimmed and staying in a place that that wasn't lit by faith or love. So I took Metzger back because I saw the metaphor of Taylor as a name and Taylor as being tailored into somebody and losing who you were. So I wanted to return to the identity of who I was before I was tailored into somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, especially as women, and speaking to my audience specifically as women, we tend to try and mold ourselves into whatever it is, be it a marriage, be it a job, be it a parent, be it a lot, because sometimes even as parents, we try and make ourselves into what we think our kids need or want.
Right.
And then when the kids grow up and they leave, then now you're trying to figure it out. I went through that, trying to figure out, okay, but who is Tanya?
Yeah. I say that a lot in the surprise party of life. Like all of the things that were surprises to me that nobody would know how to prepare for or anticipate or expect. And the one thing that as mothers, when our children are grown and they're ready to leave the nest, you have the empty nest. It was like the most surprising thing to me, how I felt like I lost my identity or purpose in, being a mom and a wife, and that being what I was, that was the priority, the forefront, that I didn't really know who my identity was on my own without being a wife. And of course I'm still a mom, but they're young adult kids who are thriving and growing and raising their own children. And it's a fascinating thing for, I think, women, mothers, to get to that season and not really know maybe how to navigate it. And maybe more conversations in the way that I want to promote the conversations around how we die differently, maybe how we promote the conversations on how we are able to embrace and with grace know how to navigate when we are Denise and Tanya and the ocean in a drop. How do we reflect that? When you said earlier, I wanted to say, you're like, hey, beautiful. I'm like, say it to the mirror. We are what we see in each other. We are reflecting back to one another what the possibilities and who we are. And we're all that together. And to shine more light on that, to give more voice to that, is what you and I both are passionate about doing.
It is. And my kids think I'm crazy, but I will see women and men in the street, in the store, and I will compliment the first thing amazing about them I see. Like, it doesn't matter. Oh, I love your wig. Oh, I love your hair. Oh, I love that outfit. Oh, girl, you rocking those shoes. Oh, boy, your mom and daddy made you fine because you lucky I'm married. Ooh. Like, I will do that to everybody I see.
That is the sweetest surprise gift too. I mean, one of my love languages, is love as words of affirmation, and it shocks me. It's such a surprise gift when a stranger is complimentary of your hair or your shirt or your glow or smile. It's a beautiful thing that you do in contributing that.
And it's because grief isn't just part of the party hop. Sometimes grief is, you could be having a bad day. You could be, there's so many ways that we grieve whatever happens. Depression is part of the grief cycle. And a lot of times what we don't realize is that if we can brighten up somebody's day, we literally can change. You could literally be the pivot that changes somebody's life. 100%. I remember a story once about a young lady that I went to school with, and I never knew this girl was suicidal until one day she got on social media and she says to me, if it wasn't for you, I would have took my life because you were so loving to me and friendly to me. And I started crying because she never told me. She never said to me, oh, you did this. It was years later when she was grown and had gone on with her life that she doubled back and saw me on social media. And she said to me, I want to thank you because if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't be here. And I was like, wait, what?
And how many people have you probably done that you don't know, or me, or anybody that's out there loving on the universe?
And that's what I was going to say. We don't know. And so if we take every moment as a gift, as a surprise, as every moment as that, then we are, because this is the thing, we're the only Jesus that anybody's going to see. He's gone on into heaven. So on earth, we have to be the light of the world. We have to be joy. We have to be peace. We have to be those things. And if we don't do it, they don't feel it. Nobody feels anything if we don't do it. We're the ones that bridge that gap. We're the ones that say,
so big because I turn have tos into get tos, and so every time you're saying have to, we get to be those things. There's a filter in my head because that was one of the things of finding the good when it's surrounded by bad is to turn your have tos into get tos. And speaking of grief, my daughter wanted to be cremated, and as we were getting ready to go bury her ashes, and I was feeling what any mom would feel naturally, that I have to bury my baby today, I prayed for the get to, because we had been practicing turning have tos into get tos. And so my prayer, and feeling consumed with the grief of having to bury my baby, said, Lord, I know there's a get to, but I can't find it. Please help me find it. And right away, the answer to that prayer came through that same voice. Only one woman in the entire world got to be Janae's mom. And she's the one that gets to release her back into heaven's care. And so from that day on, it is impossible for me to hear have to and not kind of giggle or smile and want to
correct it.
Say, I don't
fix it.
You know, I've had so
fix
much
it.
where people feel like they've got to walk on eggshells or I'm the word police. And I don't want that to be like I'm correcting. I'm offering this gift of the power of the words that we speak. And because I've had people say, well, have to doesn't necessarily be a bad thing. If I have to wait in line for my kid's Christmas gift or whatever, that's not a bad thing. And I don't want to correct and I don't want to argue even. It was probably hours later when I got home that I thought, I'm not saying it's bad, but saying have to never activates gratitude. When you say get to, it activates this energy and this fire and this gratitude that I get to be these things, that we get to be the light of Christ to other people. We get to be the person that's giving voice to and affirming the importance of your life, the beauty of who you are, the possibilities of what you can create, So I didn't want to explain why, as you were saying your have tos, that I wanted to explain why I was giggling, because it's me.
No, but see, that's the thing. There's a scripture that says life and death is in the power of the tongue. So we get, see, because I'm staying corrected, honey. I will no longer. No, I'm serious, because my kids will go, Mom, you said life and death is in the power of the tongue. We can't just say anything. Be positive. They will come get me. And so because I've taught them that their whole lives. And so I edit, correct, typo. We get to do whatever it is. And so I get to be corrected so that I can change because I am the word police. My kids will tell you I'm the word police, because if you, hey, no. You don't know what God's getting ready to do. It might all flip around in the next 10 minutes, but you can't speak negatively to it because we are co-creators. That we get to do that. So because we do, if you speak negativity into something, you're going to get exactly what you say. And so let me write it down again. We're going to start this t-shirt business, ma'am. We're going to talk about that off camera, because you got t-shirts everywhere. You get to. It's a t-shirt.
Because I had somebody, there is weget2.org. You can go see the videos and the audiences and who I've created with the We Get To. I have We Get To bands. And so you're being, you're discerning and affirming to me through
t-shirts.
You
need affirmation t-shirts that say this amazing stuff that you say. And I won't even take no credit for this t-shirt situation. You need t-shirts, seriously, because you done had surprise party, get to, tailored. It's like you got like 100 t-shirts already, and you just need to go ahead and get this extra change from these t-shirts that are going to sell like pancakes, hotcakes, because those affirmations, because all it has to say is we get to, and people are going to go, we get to what? And then you can give it to them.
See? So after Janae Party Hopped, and I had written a memoir without knowing that I had it, although as it was happening. I was blogging every day back in 2008, before social media and vlogging and all those things. And I thought anybody that wasn't with us in real time would still be inspired and impacted if they could read this book after it's all happened. And I thought the name of the book would be We Get To. And I wasn't going to use a subtitle because I thought the reader would think we get to what? And that would bring them in with the curiosity. And I was at a mega book event out in California talking to this woman that had just done a workshop on subtitles. And I went to her to ask her if she thought every book needed a subtitle or what she thought about the book We Get To without a subtitle. She said something about Janae dying. And I said, I've never called it that. I mean, I called it Party Hap now. I didn't do it then. I said, I've never called it her death. I've always called it her heavenly birth. And she said, that's the name of your book. And I remember on the plane home, I remember for a few days after I was here, I was like, Lord, it's your baby. Like, I thought I knew the name of it, but if it's not We Get To and it's heavenly birth, show me. Like,
but you know what? That's just like because God birthed the ministry in me. This radio station, all of this, I've been doing radio for almost a year now. And this is the first venture out by myself doing it. And he gave me a ministry name because I'm going to eventually have a whole ministry outside of just this. Mm-hmm. And he woke me up at 2:00 in the morning and he said, New Oil. And it was like, I literally woke up like, okay, Lord, this all you. These your doors, you opening them. And when you decide, you close them. I have nothing to do with it other than the fact that I was the recipient of it.
Right.
And so it will look and sound and be what you want and not what I want. It doesn't belong to me. And so it's like when you say, Lord, this is your baby, however you want it to go, this is how it's gonna go. And that is the paramount thing. It's like we have to know that we're just the recipients of it. What?
You said we have to know. See, I can't help myself.
We get to know.
I can't help myself. We get to know. And
we get to know.
And not be attached to outcome. I love We Get To. I talk We Get To every day. I really thought.
Don't worry, it's gonna take me a minute to edit it, but I promise you, I'm gonna. No, because
you get to leave it the way it is.
You know why I want to change it? Because I'm Captain Positive all the time, and so for me, getting to do something has way more power than having to do it.
Exactly.
Because having to do it means I'm forced. Getting to do it means I am enjoying the journey of what God has me on. So I don't have a problem editing this thing, girl. Promise me I'm gonna put it on my phone. We Get To in the front. I promise you that is because it resonates with my spirit so much. Like that, it's just, that you don't understand. That is, and you, yes, you do.
It's the
yes, you do.
Power. It activates.
It is when you realize that you don't have to do it. You get to. You don't have to go to work. You get to go because there's people that don't have jobs. You get to get up in the morning. You get to go to bed at night. You get to do whatever it is. You get to open your eyes and be in the land of the living, and then you get to go on to be with Jesus when it's time to go. Like literally, we get to do all of it because it's a gift. And saying we get to means we understand it's a gift and we're not taking it for granted. I think that is amazing.
Have the power. Yeah, it could be that you get to go to work. It could be you get to turn in your 2-week notice. It could be you get to quit and you get to go find something else that's more in alignment with what your spirit wants to do from 9 to 5 or not 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like there absolutely is no have to. Some people will be like, you don't understand. I'm like, I do. You don't understand. Like you have the freedom you want the reward, you get to do it. It may not feel good. It may not be fun. It may not be something that you want to do necessarily. And even that is still a get to. I've replaced have to with get to. I've replaced need to with get to. I've replaced want to with get to because the get to is so, it is so empowering. You get so much fuel when you remind yourself of the power that you have in choice.
You know what? I skipped 2 questions at the end because in my mind, you didn't answer and triple answer most of them. The only question that I would ask you is that don't even make sense because to say what one encouraging thing would you leave with my audience? You've said 55,000 encouraging things to my audience in the last 34 minutes. So what's one thing that you want to say before we sign off to my audience that you need them to take away from this interview?
Don't be attached to outcome. Trust. whatever it is. Don't be so fixated on what you want to happen in the future or even what you want to happen today. Surrender in a faith and a perseverance of knowing that even though you can't see what the gift is, it may take you a day or a week or a month or a year to unwrap it. Don't be attached to the outcome as much as you're open to receiving the gift you didn't ask for.
Ooh, yeah, I know I'm gonna have her back, right? I'm gonna have her back. Cause see, this right here, this was so much. I'm gonna have to have her back on the show another whole day, because this right here, I'm running out of time on this here episode, but we gonna have to have her back on Forgiveness Friday, on Miracle Monday. We're gonna have to have her back on another whole day and do another whole interview, because we get to have her back.
Exactly. You get to have me back, and I get to, with joy, say yes and come back, because I said, this is my favorite
because my audience gets to hear this amazing woman of God. Y'all. You better be listening. You better be listening. All right, Remnant Road Warriors, y'all enjoy y'all day at work. And Proverbs, steady word, yes, read your stuff. All right, oh my God, Denise. This has been more than a pleasure.
Hugs, yes.
Big hugs. Oh my gosh, this has been more than a pleasure. All right, love, peace, hair grease. I'm out.
It's too good not to celebrate it. Denise has a party favor waiting just for the Remnant Road Warriors. Go to surpriseinvite.com or DM Party Hop to Surprise Invite on Instagram, and she will send it right over. Because nobody leaves her perspective party empty-handed.